did your welcome come.
Hi guys, and welcome to the first episode of The Pig in the Middle.
Technically Ryan's the pig in the middle now.
We're the pig.
I mean, three coaches on a couch. So what I want to try and do today is I want to just openly just discuss and talk about CrossFit in general, us as a gym, and just the opinions of these three people, lovely people on the couch. So I'm going to fire off some questions, and we're just going to discuss it. I think just in a relaxed forum. So firstly, just give me a brief background, sort of about yourself. So maybe how you got into CrossFit, that kind of thing. Ollie.
I got into CrossFit when I saw a really cool guy in the gym doing it, and I was like, hey, I want to do what he's doing. And the cool guy was Ryan. It was so cool. It was Georgia.
And you just overtook him.
No, Georgia.
It's all true so far.
Georgia was in. Actually got me questioning it, and then I saw Ryan doing it. It was she went up to Berwick where she used to live. And during university, in like the first year I think it was, and then started.
What sort of date was this? What sort of?
So it was 2015, 14, 15, and she went up to Berwick on some holiday, whatever it was, when we broke up, and did some CrossFit, and I was like, oh, you're gonna get yourself injured, you're gonna get yourself hurt, what a load of bollocks, blah blah blah. And then I came home, I started working at CrossFit Gym, which was where I used to work, and Rye started to just sort of mention it in bits and bobs, and I didn't really know Ryan as well then, and he was like, you should try it out, it's good, fun, blah blah blah, and he was, you know, a beginner.
Still a beginner.
Can get the videos up soon. And
part-time athlete.
Yeah, and then I was like, that was really fun. Then started, obviously I played rugby as a young age, and it's just sort of really, it sort of worked well together, so I went from like bodybuilding, powerlifting world to going down more of the CrossFit route, and just grew to love it, and started following really hardcore, sort of probably from the 16 Opens, I think it was, wasn't it? 16 Opens we did it together. We did it as shits and giggles. Who was the Willy Wave competition, and just for fun. And then grew to love it more and more and more. Got more passionate, started studying it, and then we're here now, pretty much.
That's it. Right.
Half of my story's his. I saw it on YouTube. I saw how good they looked, seemingly all year round, and I thought that looks. I mean, like I've not really been a gym person. I've done a lot of sports, literally all sports, but
still not really.
I didn't like, you know, like people were just getting super strong, but not actually being able to do anything with their bodies. This seemed like a mixture of where fitness meets play. And I really liked that, you know, it made you better in sport, and it also made you, because I didn't understand it was a sport at first, but it looked like it, as I imagined fitness to look like in a human being, that's what all the athletes look like, and the people doing it. And then it had that element, so many cross elements from, you know, swimming to gymnastics, and it just resonated with me. That and the fact that it was competitive. Being so competitive, I love to go against someone. So from then, I was in on it, and I really enjoyed taking in anything I do, helping someone go from point A to point B and making them better. So I just fell into coaching, and then I thought, I'd best get qualified, because I don't want to be one of those people that is coaching people but not understanding.
What's your saying? If you can't,
those that can't do, teach. And so, so I did my qualifications with Ollie, and I've just been like absorbing all the information I can to help people, so that I can, you know, help them on that journey. So
it's so interesting that, like, to hear back, and that was your first thoughts. So I remember my first kind of watching on YouTube, reading Rich Fronin's book, and that was the same process that I followed. Was very much like there's an all-round fitness rather than just being ready for football or ready for rugby, or it was kind of like there was this everything thrown in, and that was what we're interested. Katie?
I found out about CrossFit probably at uni as well, when everybody at uni was telling me how bad CrossFit was, because I was on the strength and conditioning side of my degree, and they were telling me that you should do strict pull-ups and not kipping pull-ups and things like that. So I was told about this thing called CrossFit at uni, and also they used to put on the board about this thing called rhabdo on the biology side and how bad it is, and only people in CrossFit apparently get rhabdo.
Have you had rhabdo?
No, well, nearly.
Maybe you had.
It's debatable.
Yeah.
But you know, I also then, when I looked into it more, I realised that where I used to work at Eisenhurst, we did it quite a lot in our circuits class, even though we didn't know it was called CrossFit. We did it in a style of our circuit training, and yeah, we were never really told that it was CrossFit, but I just really enjoyed what we were doing in our circuits class. And Eisenhurst used to pick up, well, they still do, put on an event called Pick It Up, Put It Down, and it was all very in the style of CrossFit. And I think that's probably what pushed me more towards CrossFit. When I started then like researching more about it, and I fell in love with Catherine Davis-Daughter on the games, and then kind of wanted to be like her. I'm a bit of a role model freak. I always pick someone I want to be like. And then kind of followed CompTrain as well, programming, whilst also Ollie was following CompTrain as well at the same time. So we used to message each other and about programming, and me probably messaging him saying,
me, I ignored
probably ignored me, probably told him I beat him.
I used to just delete it.
Nah, I'm gone.
Yeah, oh man.
You used to message him telling him I beat him in a workout.
And now you're stuck with them forever.
I know, right?
Funny enough, something similar did happen, and then I found out that, I did my CrossFit level 1 because I was like, what is this CrossFit thing? I want to get more involved. Found out about the level 1 because I was doing my coaching degree at uni and wanted to go more down that CrossFit route. I did my level 1 as well without even having a CrossFit box or anywhere to coach, but I knew that's where I wanted to go. Then came an intern at CrossFit Capacitors, did a bit of work down there, and then kind of did nothing for a while because I just couldn't have any job or coaching place at that time. And it's quite hard in CrossFit because it's such a niche sport, I guess.
I think it's interesting from your point of view, because I'm obviously neither a coach or an athlete, obviously, but from my point of view, to see you are both very, very fit and very good. You may
take it.
You may not say that, but you were sneaky.
You're annoying. You like turn up and you're good.
Yeah, beating me at Fran. Yeah, you haven't trained for 2 weeks. Sneaky.
Handstands.
But Katie's kind of you're different because you're.
Oh.
She's different.
Oh, I am.
Some would say special, but I think from the fact that you are a coach and you're also a masseuse, but also you're an athlete and you're every day. We watch you train in different environments and hit new levels, which I certainly see some unbelievable fitness coming from you. And I think that your coaching, this is not to praise you, this is not the praise Katie podcast, but your coaching as well as your being an athlete has come on leaps and bounds, so I think that's really good.
I think that's also transferred into your training, as you're coaching, like being around. I always find I've always coached around Ollie, and I'd argue he's probably, I've always said if I was opening up my own CrossFit gym, Ollie's top of the list on my coaches, and I've learned a lot of him, and I think you've learned a lot of him, and that's transferred into your training. Just everything from understanding the movement to executing the movement better to understanding why you're doing that. All of those things have transferred really well into your training, and I sit with Ollie sometimes. We watch you train and pick up. I'm pretty critical as a coach of movements and try to move to a fairly virtuous movement pattern, and you executed a workout that was genuinely breathtaking. I was a bit angry about it because I don't. It was genuinely. I was like, that was flawless from start to finish. And she was training with someone who's pretty fit, who I 9 times out of 10 would back to beat anyone in a workout. And Katie dusted him, and it's like, to look at, you'd probably pick the other athlete slightly from a muscular physique position, but her execution of the movements, mental attitude, the way that she did it, and she'd always had a good engine, but Kurt rushed it. It hurts me to say that.
I think it's interesting as well, because you look at the people that have come and that come to our gym, and some of the thanks that we get, and it's behind all of this stuff that we do in the gym, and behind all of the fitness, and behind Katie's progression and these things, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it behind closed doors. Ollie's programming is detailed. It's not something he just, you know, like potentially other coaches or other people that program things may just throw something in there or extra reps. It's not that. It's something that's detailed, you know, hours and hours of thinking behind it, and I think that's a real something special that we offer, and I think that, you know, the ability for Ollie to throw those ideas off someone that is very critical, like, right, I think that gives us that extra sense and that extra special fitness edge, yeah. So I think one of the questions I wanted to ask, just to see what you guys think, you know, the experts in CrossFit, is, you know, do you think that CrossFit is for a certain person? Do you have to be a certain level of fitness, or, you know, what's your thoughts behind that?
Definitely not.
I think that people's journey vary by degree rather than the specific environment. I constantly, it's a conversation I have with people about their perception of what CrossFit is, and it's infinitely scalable. I think for me, if I wanted to do a workout against Katie, if we're doing exactly the same competition standard weights, she's going to smoke me, and it's probably not good physiologically for me to do that. I'm probably going to get sore, risk injury, so on and so on. But if scaled correctly, I'm going to feel like I'm doing the same movements as her. I'm going to work relative to my fitness level to the same intensity as Katie is to hers, and we're both going to be in a sweaty mess at the end, relative to our own ability within our capacity, but equally doing very, very similar movements so that it doesn't look different. So if a bystander came in and hadn't ever watched any fitness and saw Katie and I doing the same movements, we would be doing inverted movements, we were doing pull-ups, whatever, dumbbell, barbell work, but it would look the same to them. And I feel like that inclusion is a massive part of it, because you wouldn't want to go into somewhere and then be like, okay, you guys are all going to do this because you're a certain level, you're going to go over here and do completely different movements. You don't feel like you're part of that community.
Is that something that's scalable as well by age? You know, don't forget that you've got old fuckers like me, and then the young whippersnappers, but that ability to scale, is that?
I think it's all to do with, like I said, the ability is, like I coach people with disabilities, I coach people with learning difficulties, I coach people who are, you know, have been through been through it all and come the other side, like elder people, people who are sports people who have then, you know, got rehab issues or injuries and stuff, and you just work around them. Like, you make it, like Ryan says, everything's adaptable, so you can adapt anything to any situation. So if it's an overhead press, if it's a handstand push-up and they can't get themselves inverted due to a neck injury or something, we'll do an overhead press. You're still getting the same stimulus of the idea, you're still getting shoulder strength, you're still getting shoulder stability. Put a dumbbell into play or a kettlebell into play, and you've actually made that movement very similar to a handstand push-up. But they are still getting the same results at the end of the day, like they are, or similar results, should we say.
I think that's what's as well, like we talk about what we like about CrossFit, and how I think that shows that you guys
versatility.
Like that.
Yeah, I was going to say that's why I think we love our sport so much, is because everybody can be, and you could have a bunch of athletes in the same room, like Ryan said, doing the same workout, and they are generally doing the same workout. Yes, they might be doing different things to one another, but they are both going to start and finish that workout.
Hello.
Hello.
You alright?
Yeah, we're on a podcast.
What's new? Come in. Come and show your face on our podcast.
You're live.
You're live. Please do not sweat.
I'm not getting in.
Don't fucking swear!
Oh, he's bought his running trainers. He means
He's
business.
ready for the workout.
Running train.
Get rolling. Get rolling.
And swell.
Get rolling.
Always get swell.
Got swell
Are
yesterday.
you sure?
That's all.
Are you sure? No. You really sure?
My arse is sore.
I'll come sort that in a minute.
Huh?
I'll come sort that in a minute.
I've got a movement for that.
I've got some mobility
And
drills
some
for
gel.
Looking all pretty on there.
That's going in. So I just want to talk a little bit about
Do you want to shut the door? Just so that he can crack on and feel free.
So I really want to just touch on and talk about a little bit of just the differences between a CrossFit gym, because I feel that there is a significant difference between a normal gym, whatever that means, and you know, we absolutely understand that. We've all trained at one, we all get it, and you know that style of training or that gym environment is for some people. Some people really, really like it, but I think it's interesting and something we should speak about is what is different to that, where you are, you know, working out on your own, and a CrossFit gym. What is it that separates the two?
I was going to say, well, firstly, I think CrossFit gyms, how I perceive them, the ones I've been in and the ones I've experienced and worked in as well, I think is coaching. You come into a CrossFit box and you get a thought out plan, so you're not just going in the lurch, or the planning, even without the hopper, so you random set, it's still a designed session. It's got a modality, it's got a domain, it's got something to work to, you work the intensity, so they're all, you have a purpose. You go to the gym with a purpose, you come out with something you've achieved. Yeah. Where the global gym, when I used to train, before I had the understanding and knowledge of why we train and why adaptations were, it was go in there, go and lift that, that looks heavy, go and lift that, go and it was, I used to do that and had no purpose. I wanted to look swole, you know, whatever swole may be, and never got there. Yeah. But with CrossFit, it's, the reason I think the gyms are different is, firstly, everything is brought into the middle of the gym. So there's nothing on the floor, it's just an empty room, and you walk in and you are given a session. So for example, it could be a thruster session. You walk in, you're warmed up by a coach, you're then taken through movement standards and how it works. You maybe do a strength phase or something, working up to a 3 rep max or whatever it may be, and then you are put in that movement or understanding of a similar movement like it into a workout. And that is, so you come in with a purpose to leave with an achievement. That's how I see CrossFit in terms of the box. And
I think that's why it's such a cool thing being called a box as well. It's like that whole inventive thing, the fact that you can have an empty box and you can make it whatever you want it to be. Like,
what do you think FFH box is? What do you think makes
I think
FFH box?
Our members and the community, I think, like I was going to say before you was talking, I was going to say, it's not necessarily the fact that we're different from a gym, it's the fact that the spirit and the community makes us different from a gym.
I think we coach differently a little bit different as well. I think where we've worked in the global gyms, we've all gone different routes and we've all come from different areas and come together. We have a bigger understanding. I was very heavy PT based, so I coach like a PT in terms of I make sure people are feeling confident in their movements, and if they're not, why they're not feeling confident, how we scale it. I think why is very similar to how I coach.
It's interesting that you say that, because that's like almost reflecting on what your experience is and how you've seen things done. But now you've got a blank canvas.
Being the owner and going from being coach to being a coach is what I wanted. Like, I don't want to be left in a lurch, walking and going, I don't have a fucking clue. I want to walk in and go, this is what you're doing, this is how we're going to get there, this variation is what you're doing, this variation is what you're doing, let's go. Are you okay halfway through workout? No, I'm dying, good, keep cracking on with it. Like, just making sure that everyone has the same experience as you walk through the door. Like, Katie's going to get a hard workout, is going to be adapting for her, who's elite level, and then you've got my mum. I always use my mum as an example, because she's a trooper. She gets in, she never lifted the barbell in her life until about 2 years ago, and now she is cranking up crazy rates.
60 plus years.
And doing it with good form. So the longevity, the efficiency, the damage she's making for her sort of health stats is way greater as well. So my mum is getting healthier, Katie's getting fitter, like everyone's having a good time doing it, and afterwards you go and sit down with a donut and a coffee. It's like, this is the best. Like,
we don't promote sugar.
I think just like to add to what Ollie was saying about his mum, she recently did a handstand hold against the wall, and she got down from it, and she was like, I haven't done that since I was a kid, and she's like super excited and smiling, and left the gym on cloud 9, and she's just done something she didn't think she could do. Like, there's so many things.
It's like adult PE.
Yeah,
100%. The other thing about the saying why are we different in terms of us is you come from a football background, I've come from a rugby background, Ryan's come from football, cricket, all them backgrounds, Kate's come from the equestrian world. They had a community in those worlds, and I think we brought what we want as community. So I used to love going and play a game of rugby and then sitting down having dinner with my team. Well, my team now is my community. This is our team. Whoever walks in this door is part of our team, crew, tribe, whatever you want to call us. We're part of that. And it's not a clicky thing as well. It's like we all open arms. Like people walk in and want to. Yeah, there's no one like.
I don't think I've ever
who's
seen
fresh blood.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
don't
like
think
that.
I've ever seen someone new walk into that gym
Not smiled.
and not one person said hello. Every time we had it yesterday, and I remember it because I thought that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like you didn't know who he was, and it was a member, and the member just went, "Hi, I'm," and nice to
There's
meet
a couple
you.
of new members in
That's very
today
good.
at 9:30, and at the end of the class, they were all clapping each other, high fiving.
Yeah, and I think
Very
like
cool.
people pop the tops and you get sweaty. You might look like there's massive egos. It's not, it's just flipping hot.
Yeah.
But also,
I think
it's
very
not
good.
cross about popping your top, you know.
Yeah,
You come in here as someone that hasn't done it, so from the perspective of someone that hasn't done it before, that I get that there may be an
Daunting.
apprehension, but that apprehension's the same in any gym. But I've had people who have come in here that have gone into other Globo gyms or any gym of any facet and have said that what is the overwhelming and overriding theme is how much the coaches care,
Yes.
how much they are checking in on them, making sure that they move correctly, they're not left alone to the side, new people are really brought into the conversation. And I think the way that we structure the sessions and the classes, we are coaching anyone in that class from any end of the spectrum, from athlete to new person. We are taking them a step towards being a better version of themselves.
And their
As
own
cliche
journeys.
as that sounds,
Yeah.
we're looking at how they are moving with the barbell, how they are rope climbing. They might be doing something for the first time or for the 1,000th time. We are there to help them get better every
And it doesn't
single
even
time.
mean getting heavier weights and PBing every week. It's there was a client the other day. She was really happy the fact that she managed to move her hands twice more on a wall walk.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's the first time
See,
I've
even
ever
the warm-up.
smiled. Yeah.
Doing a warm up, crab walk. Everyone hates a crab walk and it's gross. But someone made 3 more steps in a crab walk.
Yeah.
That's mad. That's like tiny weeny increments of achievements, but they all add up, and that's what we care. We
That's
celebrate
what-
that.
Yeah, I
That's
think
our celebration.
That's what we see, and I think that is the friendliness and the community aspect of it is what we are, and that's hard to show people unless you come into the gym. I've experienced it in another CrossFit gym, CrossFit Tunbridge Wells. Hi Tom, Laszlo Vula.
Hi Tom.
Hi Annie.
Hi, honey.
Hey, honey.
Another community gym. I've been there and I've seen it, and it's a CrossFit thing. But that's what we do, and it kind of takes me on to the next point, because I was going to ask each of you what your favourite thing about coaching is. So what's one thing that you do and you see? I think you've all just shown your cards there, because I think that it's very, very clear to me that you all care about improving someone or improving something.
Biggest thing I think for being a coach, and the biggest is results are given. Like if someone gets results, you've done your job, right?
Yeah.
It's more about the fact that someone keeps coming back, and that same person comes back through the door and still smiles and still picks up barbell and still progresses. That as a coach is the best thing. Having retention, having that relationship with that person where it becomes like they are your friend, they're your sponge. You tell them, they sponge it in. That's the biggest thing as a coach. That I find is the most the most rewarding thing.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, sorry. You go first.
You do yours.
Okay. I mean, for me, it's like
Beat me again.
Simon said this morning to me.
Always.
It was amazing, Katie. Like I could just hear like the buzz coming from the room. I think
Hypnoting.
I haven't succeeded as a coach unless somebody.
Boys in the club. Boys in the club.
Raise the room. Let's get a microphone.
I mean, as much as I'm losing my voice at the moment. Yeah.
That's true.
But I think it's like I've succeeded in a class if someone's come up to me and went, I really enjoyed that, Katie, thank you. Like they don't have to get PBs and stuff, but the people at the end, like when they're cheering each other on, I'm very much a person like everyone getting behind each other, and I don't know, I just love the buzz. If there's no, you can tell when a room has a bit of a buzz in it.
But I think that we won't touch on it too much, but obviously CrossFit is a premium price compared to other places, but we've mentioned several things why that comes into play, the coaching. But you expect results, and you expect to have fun. You expect to come in, do your hard graft, but also have the high
results
five,
are fine,
have
but
the
having
laugh.
fun is so much better.
I think they go hand in hand. I think you get the results, but enjoying it at the same time is an even bigger thing.
But you do have to have those days where some days you come away from a session and everyone has it, like thinks, oh, I wasn't that good. Like not every session you're gonna come and think that was amazing.
Yeah.
And I think they're the most important
agree.
sessions. When you walk away, you do feel something's glum because you haven't hit what you wanted to hit, but that's passion then.
Yes,
That's passion
that's
through,
what
and then it just makes you hungry to get it again.
And that, as a coach, makes you excited for the fact that someone's so
yeah,
passionate
if you've
about
seen
it.
someone upset they haven't hit their PB, that is more like let's jump on and get that PB out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a passion for us then.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's a very hard thing to do in a normal gym environment, isn't it? Because you go and you program your own workout. So do you ever have that kind of like, oh, I didn't do very well there? Because all you do is do less reps, whereas in the environment, the standard of the workout is this many reps. So you are going to have that. But what I find and what I see is that makes people come the next day and go, I'm having it today, or I didn't eat very well this morning, I didn't do very well, tomorrow I'm clean eating again, and it kind of, again, it promotes that sort of healthy fitness and wanting to get better. Quiz time.
Oh, wait, before you, I just didn't know.
He wants to say
Go on,
his
I
favourite.
don't-
Quiz time.
I really like the fact that when you that as people come in here, they get the support to perform all of these things they didn't think they were able to do, and we make them laugh because of our goofy personalities.
Like Gillian. Like Gillian.
Yeah, and from any walk of life, we're like we're an eclectic mix of people with different personalities, and but we all, I think the overriding thing is we all passionately care about helping people and with a view to enjoying it as much as they can, so that they can continue. Because if you enjoy something, you're going to want to do more of it, and then the payoff for that is fitness that transfers into all life. Whether it's looking after your grandchildren for longer and being able to play with them in the garden, to continue your sport for longer.
You have to be part of our team. You have to want to help people, because we work here and we all enjoy the job part of it, but we wouldn't enjoy the part, but we wouldn't enjoy that unless we actually enjoyed helping people.
Yeah.
I think
that's why we
they
work
all
so well
that,
as a team.
that's a byproduct.
I don't fucking like it.
No, I don't like these two. It's horrible being
Quiz time!
Help me.
Everybody!
Send help for the
That
video.
audio's just gone through the roof. Fastest finger first. No, actually, we're going to go. Fastest finger.
I win. You need to sit move.
Right to the first.
What we're going to do,
Touch penis.
it's all about points.
Okay.
Points being prizes.
There you
You
go.
know how competitive we
That's
are.
1 point to me.
If you want to buy some of our merch online, what is the exact URL you type in?
www.crossfitffh.com/shop.
Done.
No idea.
No idea.
There you go. 1-0. No point.
Hang on, he's
Oh,
got
I
an
said
advantage.
no.
He's got a massive advantage.
Yeah, he's got an advantage here.
What was that?
Because he's a nerd and he knows and he remembers
business.
URLs.
I was really impressed that you remember that too.
Google.
I made these questions thinking no one would get it. Well done, you.
Oh, no. I don't like losing.
Next question.
Yeah, we're so
Make us sweat.
competitive. I'm going to punch Katie for a point.
How much, it's over there, do we sell that
£18.
FFH t-shirt for?
£16.
No, I don't sell things.
Katie, you're correct. £16.
Yeah!
Wow.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it
It
is.
is.
Fucking not.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
it is.
It's not.
Yeah.
It is.
It's not. Look. FFHT 18.
Ollie's a winner!
Have it
Well
cheaper
done.
with me.
Cut that.
Cheaper in my price.
You get 0 points.
Yeah, if you quote Katie, you get it for 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quote.
Code Katie, and you get that t-shirt for £16.
Yeah. Deal.
Deal.
First come,
Final
first serve.
question.
2 things.
Get a bit
This is
flustered.
rigged. Because I only
Do you know
coach.
what
I
t-shirt?
don't sell
Do you know
things.
what t-shirt I'm about? They don't know if they can't do t-shirt.
Oh,
Okay, get the t-shirt.
I don't actually know how much everything is.
£16 if you buy it from Katie.
£16
Quote
for me.
code Katie, £16.
Yeah.
Code.
I reckon the first 5 who come in and buy a t-shirt can get it.
Gonna clear them out.
Kate will play it for you.
Last question. This is a big one.
Right.
What's my middle name?
Oliver.
Oh, but I knew it. Are you impressed?
I think we'll give it to Rye there. 1-1. No, you didn't get it wrong, didn't you?
No, I just
Katie loses every
I just
time.
said wolf.
Zero. Loser. 1.
I thought it'd be so weird because your surname's like that Wolfen's Learner.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
There you go.
It's a coded test.
Walking home. Walking home.
Walking home.
Walking home.
So thank you to them. It's thank you from me.
Wait, hang on, that's it. That's the end of the quiz.
That
was
is
a
the end of
pretty
the
shit quiz.
You actually came last.
Do you want one more question?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
go.
want at least 1 point.
Okay.
Well, she's not going to get it. Unless it's
I'm
like,
on the spot here.
okay. And you'll get a phone call. Mr. Popular.
What size is Katie's feet?
4.5.
4'5".
4.5.
She got her own thing wrong.
4.5.
4'5".
She did 4'5".
Definitely not 4'5".
So 0.31. We can keep going. She's making this up.
Yeah.
Let's get back
And
to
the quiz is over. No point in. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So that's the first podcast. Sorry about the audio.
Let
The audio
us
is
know
a bit.
what you want
a
in
bit,
here next time.
is a bit
Swipe up, get on
awful.
that.
Get on there.
Swipe
16
up.
down, subscribe.
www.crossfitffh.com.
OnlyFans, FFH.
No bullshit.
Make sure you book your trial class on our homepage, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Cut that out because that's photos.
Gross.
Ever did that.
Oh, no.
Don't ever do that again.